December 7th, 2015, City of Vandalia. City Council meeting is now called to order. The first thing we will do is to have a moment of reflection, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Would you please stand for the pledge? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Council members, you have the minutes of our council study session of November the 16th, 2015, our council meeting minutes of November the 16th, 2015, and our special meeting minutes of November the 30th. Are there any corrections or revisions to be made? Seeing none, they'll stand approved. We have no communications, petitions, or awards this evening, nor do we have any public hearing. And so that brings us to the item where we have comments from interested citizens. So if there's anyone in the audience that would like to approach the podium, all we do is ask that you state your name and address for our records, and then your comments.
Holly Wiggins, 660 Castle Creek Drive, but I'm here with my DP&L hat on tonight. I wanted to let council know and about a program that we are just kicking off, and ask them to share this with their neighbors and friends. If you don't look at your bill inserts, which often we don't and read, there should be information this month on a program called Gift of Power. And what that is a program asking citizens to help those that are having trouble paying their electric bill. So it's we've partnered with the Salvation Army. And starting Martin Luther King Day in 2016, it's open for a few weeks that people can come in when they've received a disconnect notice. It's for those folks that have run out of other options to keep their power going, and it's a safety net. So we've put in envelopes into your bills, and we're just asking for people to consider, especially during this holiday season, consider giving into this program. We have put seed money up and are working with the community at large to see if we can just keep this program going for years to come, to just help those that need a little bit of help. All citizens, if you know somebody who asks you how to do that, they should call the Salvation Army. There's a form you fill out and a questionnaire, and they go in for an interview and can get help.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Is there anyone else that would like to approach us? Seeing none, we'll go on with our city manager's report, and we have some information items. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. I have two items this evening. The first one is that the city offices are going to be closed on December 24th and 25th in observance of the Christmas holiday. Offices will also be closed on New Year's Day in observance of the New Year's holiday. However, the rec center will be open on Christmas Eve from 7 a.m. till noon, and on New Year's Eve from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. However, the rec center will be closed on Christmas Day and New Year's Day. Also regarding our annual report calendar, the Vandalia Butler High School Honor Society is once again distributing those calendars for us to every residence and business in the city. They're going to do this on Saturday, December 19th. And once again, the calendars are shrink wrapped to prevent damage due to moisture. In exchange for their work, the group will be presented with a contribution from the city towards their scholarship fund.
Thank you very much. We have action items this evening, the zoning appeal, the U-Haul at 75 Corporate Center Drive. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Zafar Quasi has filed an appeal of the zoning administrator's decision that a U-Haul facility is not a permitted use at the Airport Inn and Parking, 75 Corporate Center Drive, which is located in the Highway Business District. And while multifamily tenant uses are permitted at this location, that provision does not apply in this instance because multi-tenant uses are reserved for retail, personal service, professional service, office, or industrial uses. The hotel motel does not comply with those requirements. The BZA reviewed this appeal at its November 11th, 2015 meeting and voted 3-0 to deny the appeal.
Thank you. I do know that the applicants are in the audience, and if they would like to make comment, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and then your comment.
My name is Zafar Kazi, and I'm here at 75 Corporate Center Drive, Vandalia. And I just want to bring it up again for that, what I just explained it in the workshop a little while ago. And that the code number 1, when the meeting was held last time, we requested for the continuation, but that was not awarded to us, so we could not defend our case. But when I read as just a layperson, the coding, all the all the codings, and it does not say anywhere in the code that it is not permitted the U-Haul cannot be permitted. U-Haul cannot be operated at this facility, and so that's why I'm requesting for the council members that please consider this application and let us continue the operation, and that should be good for our community, good for our business, and it's not interfering with any neighborhood over there, and it's way in the back, and so that's why I'm requesting for that one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion from council?
Your Honor, I'll move that we deny or affirm the BZA's denial of the appeal for the U-Haul at 75 Corporate Center Drive.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Lewis and second by Councilman Blakesley that we follow the recommendation of the BZA to deny the appeal at 75 Corporate Center Drive. Are there any comments from anyone? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Gerhart.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes, and the motion passes 6-0. The second action item this evening is the zoning appeal from Your Dream Boutique at 115 East National Road. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Deborah Fain, owner of Your Dream Boutique, has filed an appeal of the zoning administrator's decision that her sign meets the definition of a portable sign and is therefore prohibited by the zoning code. A portable sign is defined as any sign which is movable and which is not permanently attached to the ground, a structure, or other signs, and is designed in such a way that it can be moved or relocated without involving any structural or support changes. Sandwich board signs are permitted in the downtown business district. However, this sign does not meet the definition of a sandwich board sign. The BZA reviewed this appeal at its November 11th meeting and voted 3-0 to deny the appeal.
Thank you very much. I see that we have the applicants in the audience, and if indeed you'd like to make comment to us, please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records.
My name is Debbie Fain. My address, you want my residential address or the business address?
I'm sure your business address will be fine.
Okay.
Is that
And,
not correct?
That works fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, and just to clarify, I'm actually the building owner, not the business owner. So my name is Debbie Fain. The building I purchased in February is the old bank building at 115 East National Road. And then Angela Kirby, I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Angela Kirby. I'm the owner of the boutique, same address, 115 East National Road.
And so I would just like the council to possibly take another look at the code restrictions on portable signs, understanding that there is a sandwich sign that is allowed according to the city code, and the sign that Angela actually has up is a nice, very professional flag, feather flag type sign. And I just think that maybe just to send the message that, you know, we have a small business who is trying to advertise their products, that maybe that's a little bit more appealing than a sandwich sign.
I agree. I mean, that's same thing that we've talked about.
Yeah, and I think the code is just a little gray on the definition of a portable sign, because to me, a sandwich sign is something that you can collapse and take inside your building, just like the feather flag. So, that's it.
Thank you very much. Do I have a motion?
Your Honor, I'll move that we affirm the decision of the zoning appeals and deny the portable sign at Your Dream Boutique at 115 East National Road.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Lewis, second by Vice Mayor Forrest, that we follow the recommendation of the BZA and deny the appeal. Any comments from the council members?
I do I can defer to Candy here in a minute.
Well-
I agree with the applicant, and I think we should perhaps look at our code. I think it's a valid point that a flag, particularly in this instance, is more aesthetically pleasing in some respects than a sandwich board. And unfortunately, our code simply doesn't allow it, and so I think it's incumbent upon us to enforce the code as it's written. However, I think you've raised some good points, and I think it would behoove us as a council and our administration to perhaps look at that and work in some new rules as they might relate to some flags. It's difficult, I know, to define and what is and what is not, what looks good and what doesn't look good. But I'm sure there's some parameters that we can hammer out, and I think that's something that we might want to address as a council here in the future.
I just want to say, we want you there. We want you to stay there. It does not fall within our code. Somewhere along the line, the sandwich board got in there. So I think it's behooved us all to look at that and read it again, and we've had discussions about some things we want to do in the future, and we'll have to get with staff as a group, and to promote, we want to promote the small businesses. So I think it's inspired us to put some time and effort in that direction, but this did not fit. We can't pretend it fit. We couldn't make it fit, so it just won't work, but we'll continue to work for something that helps you out.
Anyone else?
I would agree as well, with co-council members here, that we've tried to help others and say, what are other options? And as the code sits right now, it's hard for us to go against that code. And as much as we would like to see that, and there's compelling arguments on both this one and the previous zoning issue. So it is hard to say and to deny, but it is the code, and we had the zoning appeals board look it over, research it, and so I think it sent us a message to say, okay, we'll have to take a look at this going forward. I know it doesn't help now, but we'll work through this.
Anyone else? Okay. Seeing none, then maybe have the roll call, please.
Lewis,
Yes.
Ayers,
Yes.
Blakesley,
Yes.
Gerhart,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Forrest,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0. Our first resolution this evening is 15-R-102. Would you read it by title only, please?
A resolution authorizing an intergovernmental agreement with Montgomery County regarding building inspection services.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. The city was contacted by Montgomery County Building Regulations Department about the possibility of entering into a cooperative agreement for inspection services on an as-needed basis contingent upon workload and availability. The fee would be $40 per inspection. Montgomery County is primarily requesting Vandalia's assistance for inspection services in our immediate vicinity. There's no requirement that we provide the requested inspection services if we are unable to do so. This agreement would also allow Vandalia to request inspection services from Montgomery County should the need arise. This would primarily be for electrical inspection services, since Vandalia has only one electrical inspector and we currently contract out for those services when he is off work.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 15-R-102 as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Ehlers and second by Councilman Gerhart that we do approve Resolution 15-R-102 as presented. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, would you call the roll?
Ehlers,
Yes.
Blakesley,
Yes.
Gerhart,
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Forrest.
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0. Resolution 15-R-103 by title only, please.
Yes.
You want me to read the?
Just by title.
A resolution establishing a fire equipment fund.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, it is necessary to create the Fire Equipment Fund to account for the receipt and dispersal of bond anticipation note funds that will be issued in 2016 for the strict purpose of acquiring a new fire engine and ancillary equipment.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve Resolution 15R03 as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Blakesley, second by Vice Mayor Forrest, that we do approve Resolution 15-R-103 as read. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Ehlers,
Yes.
Blakesley,
Yes.
Gerhart,
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Forrest.
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0. Resolution 15-R-104 by title only, please, Mr. Schaefer.
A resolution waiving the formal bidding process and authorizing the purchase and installation of landscaping materials for the Dixie Drive Phase 3 median landscape project from A. Brown & Sons, Inc. in the amount of $12,090.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, as part of Phase 3 of the Dixie widening project that was recently completed, the city is responsible for the landscaping of the newly constructed medians. The Parks Department received quotes from 5 nurseries for the purchase and installation of landscape materials. Brown's Nursery submitted the lowest quote of $9,450. However, near the conclusion of the project, and there were concerns about the quality of the soil placed in the medians. The soil was tested. It was found to be in compliance with ODOT's bid specifications, but it is high in clay content and not necessarily conducive to creating a fertile growing environment. Again, our facility superintendent has recommended that we add 40 cubic yards of organic material to the existing median soil to support the growth of the landscape materials. Again, we received 4 quotes for the installation of the organic materials. Again, Brown's Nursery submitted the lowest quote of $2,640. But because Brown's submitted the lowest quote for both the landscaping and the organic material, council approval is necessary since the cost of Brown's contract will exceed $10,000. The project was not formally bid. However, we are asking council to authorize Brown's contract so that the plantings can take place this year.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion we approve Resolution 15-R-104 as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Gerhart, second by Councilman Blakesley, that we do approve Resolution 15-R-104 as presented. Comments from anyone? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Gerhart,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Ehlers,
Yes.
Blakesley,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Forrest.
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0. Resolution 15-R-105, would you please read it by title only?
Appointing certain members to the Vandalia Local Board of Tax Review.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. House Bill 5, which enacted statewide municipal income tax uniformity mandates, requires the establishment of a local board of tax review that will replace the Board of Adjudication and the Board of Tax Appeals. The board is comprised of 3 members, with the city manager appointing 1 member and city council appointing 2 members. This resolution confirms Becky White and Barb Klosterman as council appointees and Frank Keish as the alternate. The city manager's appointment to this board is Jackie Nallroth.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion we approve Resolution 15-R-105.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Gerhart, second by Vice Mayor Forrest, that we do approve Resolution 15-R-105. Any comments from anyone? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Lewis.
Yes.
Ayers.
Yes.
Blakesley.
Yes.
Gerhart.
Yes.
Forst.
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0. We have a number of ordinances in their first reading, the first one being 15-22. Mr. Schaefer, by title only, please.
An ordinance providing that the city of Vandalia will pick up the statutorily required employee contribution to the Ohio Public Employees Retirement System for the full-time employees of the city of Vandalia pursuant to IRC Section 414H2.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, back in 2007, the city adopted an ordinance regarding certain salary reduction and fringe benefit plans for required employee and elected official contributions to the Ohio Public Employee Retirement System. After consultation with OPRS officials, it is necessary to update that legislation. In order to do so, the previous ordinance must be repealed and separate ordinances adopted for each plan. So this first ordinance authorizes the city to pick up the employees' required OPERS contributions on a pre-tax basis. Under the salary reduction plan, the employee contribution is paid by the city, and the employee's gross salary is then reduced by the amount of the contribution. And there is no cost to the city to implement this plan.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve ordinance 15-22 in its first reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Vice Mayor Forrest, second by Councilman Ayers, that we do approve ordinance 15-22 in its first reading. Comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Ayers.
Yes.
Blakesley.
Yes.
Gerhart.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Forrest.
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0. Ordinance 15-23 by title only, please.
Ordinance that the city of Vandalia will pick up the statutorily required contribution to the Ohio Public Employees Retirement System for the elected officials of the city of Vandalia pursuant to IRC Section 414H2.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, this ordinance authorizes the city to pick up elected officials' required OPRS contributions on a pre-tax basis. Under this fringe benefit plan, the elected official contribution is paid by the city as a fringe benefit.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion we approve ordinance 15-23 in its first reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Gerhart, second by Councilman Lewis, that we do approve ordinance 15-23 in its first reading. Comments from anyone? Would you please call the roll?
Blakesley.
Yes.
Gerhart.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Ayers.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Forrest.
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion carries 6-0. Ordinance 15-24 by title only, please.
An ordinance repealing ordinance number 07-27 regarding certain pickups under salary reduction and fringe benefit plans.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, this ordinance again does repeal the previously adopted ordinance for the salary reduction and fringe benefit plans regarding required contributions to OPRS. As I indicated earlier, after consultation with the folks at PRS, again, it's necessary to update that legislation. Council just recently introduced 2 ordinances, and in order to implement this, we're required to rescind the previous ordinance, which is 07-027.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Move that we approve ordinance 15-24 in its first reading.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Ayler, second by Councilman Gerhart, that we do approve ordinance 15-24 in its first reading. Comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Gerhart.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Ayers.
Yes.
Blakesley.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Forrest.
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0. Ordinance 15-25 by title only.
An ordinance to revise appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Vandalia, Montgomery County, Ohio, during the calendar year ending December 31, 2015, and amending ordinance 14-34.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, this year-end supplemental appropriation ordinance would amend 2015 appropriations as follows. In the general fund, an additional $300,000 to account for the refund of estimated income taxes already paid. Also in the general fund, an additional $1,200. That's additional funds necessary for music entertainment at the farmers market. In the Stone Quarry Crossings TIF fund, an additional $8,500 for expenses related to the TIF on the calculated amount that's due to the the Vandalia Butler School District, and also additional money from various funds from which employees are paid, so that each fund pays its share of our 27th pay, which is coming up. So for the street fund, that would be $16,000. For the computer legal research fund, $2,500. For the stormwater special revenue fund, $5,000. And the court special projects revenue fund, $3,000. And the water fund, $12,500. And then the sewer fund, $12,000.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve ordinance 1525.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Blakesley, second by Vice Mayor Farr, that we do approve ordinance 15-25. Comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Lewis.
Yes.
Ayers.
Yes.
Blakesley.
Yes.
Gerhart.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Faust.
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0. Ordinance 15-26, by title only, please, Mr. Schaefer.
An ordinance amending section 234.07A5 of the Vandalia Codified Ordinances, allowing the city manager or finance director to issue non-binding declarations of official intent to secure tax-exempt bond financing for certain eligible projects.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Federal tax rules provide that prior to the city securing reimbursement bonds for certain eligible projects, a declaration of intent must be executed. The issuance of a declaration of intent does not obligate the city to issue debt, but it does allow the city to reimburse itself with funds from the note issuance for expenses already incurred for that project. The city's existing ordinances pertaining to the issuance of a declaration of official intent only apply to certain projects, those being the Justice Center, the Municipal Building and Recreation Center. This ordinance would expand that authority to any other capital expenditure that the city manager or finance director determines may be appropriate for the issuance of tax-exempt reimbursement bonds.
Thank you. Is there a motion?